This podcast is sponsored by Uncomfortable Ideas by Bo Bennett, PhD. Challenge your beliefs and embrace the uncomfortable. Discover the power of confronting ideas that push your boundaries. Get the book or enroll in the online course today at uncomfortable-ideas.com.
The unintended harm of political progress, embracing uncomfortable truths. Political progress can sometimes hurt certain groups. A thought-provoking podcast episode about embracing discomfort and challenging the status quo. When political progress comes with unintended consequences. You know, I've been thinking a lot lately about how political progress isn't always the clear win that it's painted to be. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm all for challenging the status quo and pushing for change, but something that rarely gets talked about, and honestly, it's one of those uncomfortable truths, is how some progressive policies can actually harm certain groups in the process. Yeah, it's a bit of a tough pill to swallow. Take, for example, the way well-intentioned laws and reforms can sometimes overlook the unintended side effects they produce. It's like you implement a new policy aimed at fixing an obvious problem, but then some communities or demographics end up worse off. And trust me, I'm not just speaking hypothetically here. This happens more often than people are willing to admit. Have you ever noticed how some politically progressive policies, especially those related to economic reforms or social justice, can inadvertently marginalize certain labor groups or small business owners? Sometimes the push for inclusive hiring practices or strict environmental regulations, while noble, can put a strain on low-income workers or local businesses that don't have the resources to adjust quickly. Suddenly, what was meant to create fairness and justice causes layoffs or closures. That's not to say these policies shouldn't be pursued, but it does highlight the importance of fully understanding different perspectives before barreling ahead. Here's another example. Think about affirmative action or diversity quotas. On the surface, these sound like solid ways to create more equal opportunities, but there's a lot of debate about whether such measures could unintentionally stigmatize the very groups they aim to help, or perhaps stoke resentment among those who feel overlooked or unfairly treated. It's messy, it's complicated, and having these uncomfortable conversations matters because sweeping things under the rug helps no one. One thing I appreciate about the book, Uncomfortable Ideas by Bo Bennett, PhD, is how it lays out why embracing discomfort is key to meaningful progress. The book pushes readers to confront offensive topics and uncomfortable truths instead of ignoring or oversimplifying them. This podcast episode is kind of a nod to that approach. If we want genuine improvement, we have to be willing to look beyond just what feels right or what sells well politically. That's why I think we need to talk more openly about these issues, not in a way that dismisses progress, but in a way that calls for thoughtful consideration of consequences. By bringing attention to these less discussed outcomes, we're really challenging the status quo in a way that encourages more nuanced thinking. And honestly, that's what society desperately needs right now. It comes down to embracing discomfort, you know. When change is uncomfortable, it means you're actually stretching old ideas and making room for deeper understanding. Without that discomfort, it's easy to miss these blind spots in progressive reforms. It's like politics often moves too fast, and discussions about the fallout for certain groups get sacrificed for the sake of quick wins. So what can we do? First, stay curious. Listen to people whose experiences differ from yours. Take the time to understand the ripple effects policies can have, not just the headlines. And second, don't shy away from the offensive topics or difficult conversations. These might be exactly what we need to hold our leaders accountable, and frankly, to make better decisions. If you want to explore this mindset more, I really suggest checking out the book Uncomfortable Ideas by Bo Bennett, PhD. It's a thought-provoking podcast companion if you're into understanding different perspectives and not afraid of challenging established narratives. Explore the book now to deepen your understanding of why embracing discomfort is essential for better political and social progress.